Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Now I start my practical batch Z2. Okay, practical study of Platyhelminthes, classification and general characteristic. Study of Platyhelminthes, general characteristic classification. First, we discuss the general characteristic of phylum Platyhelminthes. Then we show one by one example of the Platyhelminthes. Just I share my screen here. You look my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we study the platyhelminthes classification and morphological peculiarity. First, we discuss the general characteristic. First, you remember that platyhelminthes means worm and platy means flat. So, flat worm, they are belonging to this phylum that is called as a platyhelminthes. Okay. First general characteristic, that is the soft-bodied dorso-ventrally flattened, free-living, triploblastic, coelomate, and some are the endoparasitic. So you know the endoparasitic, that means they are living in the body of host animal. It may be man or other type of the animal like cattle, like a pig, etc. Free living and triploblastic. That means there is made endo, that is what we call as body wall is made up of three layer and coelomate, because in the last phylum we discuss here coelomate, but cavity is not true here. From platyhelminthes to onward, the body cavity is complete body cavity, that's called as a coelomate. Okay, coelomate and triploblastic, that their body wall of these animal, they are made up of three layer. Huh. Endothelium, mesothelium, that is body wall is made up of three layer. We call as a diploplastic. In addition to that, soft bodied animal and dorso-ventrally flattened. This is a very important characteristic of flatworm. Body is a dorso-ventrally flattened. Second characteristic is that for first time the animal kingdom, the head region definite organ system like a digestive system, excretory system, nervous system, reproductive system is getting. So from head, there is a specific region of head, and from this head there are different organs or different systems which are observed from platyhelminthes, in addition to the annelida, in addition to the arthropoda, in addition to the echinodermata and mollusca. Definite system, because in case of the porphyrin or in case of the cylindrata, there is no proper digestive system, no proper excretory system, no proper nervous system, or no proper reproductive system. So from platyhelminthes, all systems like digestive system, excretory system, nervous system, and reproductive system is properly present in the body of these animals. In addition to that, the digestive system is incomplete due to the absence of anus. Means anus is totally absent, and only mouth and remaining part of the digestive system they are present, and that's why the digestive system is incomplete. Now, ingestion through mouth or through general body surface means intake of food. Food, they are intake inside the digestive system or in the mouth, uh, through mouth or general body surface. In addition to that, excretory system consists of phlegm cell. I mentioned previously, in some animal there are specific, especially in the invertebrate. These are the invertebrate, and especially there is a specific excretory organ they are persist, and one of the excretory organ they are found in case of the platyhelminthes, that is called as a phlegm cell. Phlegm cell is a excretory organ in case of platyhelminthes. These are mostly bisexual fertilization is internal. I think you know the bisexual and unisexual. Bisexual and unisexual, that means the both sex organs they are present in the single animal, and both sex organs they are present in the different animal. Depending upon that, we classify bisexual and unisexual, or what we call as monoecious and dioecious organism. Especially dioecious organism means the both sex they are present in the different animal. Male animal is different, female animal is different. Uh, then monoecious means that is both sex organ, male sex organ and female sex organ, they are present in the single organism. So here there is a bisexual and fertilization is internal. Fertilization internal means the fertilization take place inside the body of animal. That is called as the internal fertilization because some animals show the external fertilization. That means these animal laying eggs in the water because fertilization always required aquatic media. Don't aquatic media is available or do not aquatic media is available, then and then fertilization is not possible, or these animals they are not laying eggs. So fertilization always required aquatic media if it is a mother body, or if it is a external fertilization, or if it is internal fertilization, or if it is a external fertilization, always required aquatic medium, water medium. So external fertilization, that is these animal laying eggs in the water, and in the water male and female, that is male and female eggs, or male and they are fused together and fertilization take place inside the or outside the body of female or this animal, that is called as a external fertilization. But internal fertilization, that means the fertilization take place inside the body of animal, that is internal fertilization. So this phylum is divided into three classes, that is a Turbellaria, Trematoda and Cystoda. Actually the Turbellaria, Trematoda and Cystoda, all these are the endoparasites. All these are the endoparasites, and Turbellaria, Trematoda and Cystoda. So these are the different classes which are belonging to this phylum. Now, when you look the first animal of this phylum Platyhelminthes, that is the Taenia solium. I think no, you know this animal. They are present in the human intestine. This is endoparasitic. Human intestine. It is called as a Taenia solium, or sometimes it is called as a flat worm. Because body is a ribbon-like. Ribbon means in past the girls they are used ribbon in their hair. So body just like that. So therefore it is called as a ribbon-like body, flat body. So this animal we call as a Taenia solium. So when you look the head region of this animal, then it show the rostellum. Rostellum in addition to the two rows of hook and sucker. So there are different suckers, and this is the neck region. So this entire part we call as the scolex, and this is the neck region. Okay, so this is a scolex in case of the Taenia solium, and this is the entire body. So entire body it shows the scolex, neck, and these are the different glottids. That is the what we call as immature glottid, mature glottid, and gravid proglottid. So immature proglottid, mature proglottid, and Gravian proglottid. So Gravian proglottid means this proglottid possesses male and female sex organ, and after maturation or after fully development, this proglottid it is called as a gravid proglottid, and this gravid proglottid they are separated from body, and they are fall in the land or in soil, and this they are that means through they are eaten by pig. This proglottid they are eaten by pig, and this they are going to the body of pig, and pig when eaten they are human being, then this tenuous solium they are going to the body of human being. So intermediate host, it is a endoparasite of human being. Always this tenuous solium present in the intestine of human, in addition to the intestine of what we call as sheep, in addition to the intestine of goat, in addition to the intestine of chicken. So this they are transmitted through in case human they are transmitted through cattle, or they are transmitted through pig. So intermediate host that is called as a pig. So when you look the characteristic, it is an endoparasite in the intestine of man. The body is a ribbon-like, differentiated into scolex, necks, and 700 to 900 segment. That is called as a proglottids. Scolex containing four sucker. I show here these are the different sucker here, near about four sucker, and rounded rostellum. Rounded rostellum. So rostellum, there are series of teeth which are present here. two rows of teeth are present here. So scolex containing four sucker and rounded rostellum. Rostellum is crowded at least by double row of 28 to 32 hooks. Hooks or teeth. They are present in the rostellum near about 28 to 32 hooks. They are present here. Below the scolex, there is an area of segmentation called as a neck. So this is a neck here. I just show here this figure. This is a neck. This is a neck. So entire this is scolex. Then neck is followed by large number of immature proglottid, then gravid proglottid, and mature segment. So this is immature proglottid. This is mature proglottid, and this is a gravid proglottid. Mature segment contain fully developed hermaphrodite genital organ. Hermaphrodite, that means both sex organ, male sex and female sex, they are present in the this proglottid. So entire proglottid possesses male organ, male sex organ, and female sex organ. Therefore, it is called as a gravid proglottid or hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite. That means the two sex organ which are present in that. Male reproductive system consists testes, vasa efferentia, vas deferens, and serous. Then female reproductive system consists single bilobed ovary, oviduct, vitellia, and vagina. Ingestion of temporarily cooked that is hip leads to the infection. That means the flesh I mentioned here, the flesh which are eaten by human, that is a flesh of pig, flesh of sheep, flesh of chicken, they are eaten by human. Then this tenia solium, they are transmitted to the body of human, and it causes serious disease in man like anemia, then conciноphila, diarrhea, hemorrhage, abdominal pain, etc. So abdominal pain, this is a common cause of tinea solium, and anemia is also common cause of the tinea solium. Diarrhea is also common cause of tinea solium. So this is the first example of phylum Platyhelminthes, that is the tinea solium. Now we move to the second. Only one example they are given in our syllabus. That is the tinea solium. Now we go to the second, that is Ascaris. Actually, Ascaris, they are belonging to the phylum S. helminthus. Platyhelminthus is only one example, that is the Teniasodium. But in the Ascaris, so this animal belonging to the phylum S. helminthus. So speciality of this animal is that called as a roundworm. Previously, we called as a flatworm. That is, platyhelminthes are the flatworm, but as helminthes or nematohelminthes, these are the nematohelminthes or as helminthes, these are the roundworm. Okay, not flat, roundworm. So one of the example here, that is called as the Ascaris. So I show here in the diagram, this is male Ascaris and this is a female Ascaris. And you know, Ascaris is a Ascaris is an endoparasite. It is found in the human intestine, and maximum number of Ascaris they are found in the children as compared to the adult. Children intestine possess maximum number of Ascaris as compared to the adult human. So this is male Ascaris. There is a sexual dimorphism. Both sex are present here. This is a male Ascaris. This is female Ascaris. Well sexual dimorphism. That means male, their posterior end is curved, and female, the posterior end is straight. Depending upon that, we easily identify this is male Ascaris and this is a female Ascaris. Now, when you look the characteristic, Ascaris is a common endoparasite in the small intestine of man. It is commonly known as a roundworm. Body elongated, cylindrical, pointed on both ends. Body is marked with mid-dorsally, mid-ventrally, and two lateral lobe. Means there is a specific marking on the body. Mouth is situated at the anterior end. Posterior end of the male is ventrally curved, having cloacal aperture. Ventrally, there is a cloacal aperture. When you look this diagram, here there is a cloacal aperture, and this end, posterior end, is a curve, and here end there is a cloacal aperture. Okay. In addition to that, the cloacal aperture, two spicules project out, known as pinnal CT. Here there is a pinnal CT. So these are the two spicule are present. It is called as a pinnal CT. Then posterior end of female is a bluntly pointed, having anus. So when you look the posterior end of female, there is anus. Okay, here this is a anus, blunt end, and here there is anus. The excretory pore in male and female is situated at the anterior end, just below the mouth. So this is the excretory pore below the mouth. Here, this is in case of the female, there is a excretory pore. In case of the male, this is excretory pore. Generally, it is present below the mouth. Here, below the mouth. Okay. Now, the female genital aperture or gonopore lies about one half three length of body from anterior end. So this is a female genital pore. Here we call as a female genital pore. Generally one half the body or one third part of the body. This female genital opening is present, and anus in case of male open into the cloacal aperture, and male is smaller than female. This is another distinguishing character in between the male ascaris and female ascaris. Okay, so this is another example, and this example belonging to the phylum S. helminthes or Nematohelminthes, and special character of this phyla, that is the roundworm. And roundworm, body covered with cuticle. Body covering, there is a transparent cuticle which are present over the body, and this animal, they are brownish color. They are present in the human intestine. Male and female, they are totally different. Male is broad, short, posterior end is a curve. Female is a small, or small means it is a slender, not small. It is elongated, but it is a slender, and the posterior end is a straight. So this is the difference between male ascaris and female ascaris. This is one of the example of phylum S. helminthes or Nematohelminthes. Now we go to the another phyla, that is phylum Annelida. Okay, after completion of the S helminthes, only one example in the Platyhelminthes we discuss here. First, we discuss the general characteristic of Platyhelminthes, and what I mentioned, the classification, Cystoda, then Turbellaria, then Nematoda. These are the different classes which are belonging to the phylum Platyhelminthes. Then we discuss the S helminthes, only one, that is the example Ascaris, and only one class that is called as a that is the nematoda, class nematoda. Only one example. Now we go to the second phylum or next phylum, that is called as a phylum Annelida. Phylum Annelida. So this phylum Annelida, or this is also worm. They are also called as a worm, but this worm, they are different from Platyhelminthes and Nematohelminthes. Means they are different from Ascaris. They are different from Taenia solium. They are different from Taenia solium. They are different from Ascaris. They are not flat. They are not round. But body is a segmented. This is another special character of this phyla. Body is made up of different segments. Segmented body. Therefore, it is called as a segmented worm. So now we look the classification and morphological peculiarity of this phyla. Annelida, phylum Annelida. First character, these are mostly aquatic, freshwater or marine. Some are terrestrial, burrowing, and some are found in the moist soil. Body is elongated, vermiform, bilaterally symmetrical. Body is a bilaterally symmetrical, vermiform. That means it is made up of different segments. The animals are metamerically segmented. That means equal each segment on the body of earthworm, they are equal, near about 121 segment which are present on the body of earthworm. When we discuss about the what we call as earthworm, uh, this earthworm, near about 121 segment which are present on the body of earthworm. So each segment is equal, therefore it is called as a metamerically segmented. Okay. Now, external segmentation due to the transverse groove, while internal segmentation due to the presence of septa. Internally, there is a septa is there. The body wall is composed of longitudinal as well as circular muscle, and this is covered by cuticle. Here, body is also covered with cuticle. Then these are triploblastic. Okay, coelomate animal. Respiration by general body surface. Circulatory system is well developed and it is a closed type. Now, closed circular system, closed circulatory system, and open circulatory system, they are totally different. Open circulatory system, they are present in some animal in which blood they are not transmitted, blood they are not travel, blood they are not transport through what we call as artery, arteriole, vein, venule, capillary. This system is totally absent. This system is totally absent. That's why it is called as a open blood vascular system and closed blood vascular system. That means the blood they are transmitted or travel or transported through artery, arteriole, capillary, vein, venule, capillary. So this is we call as a closed blood vascular system. Okay. Now blood is a red in color due to the hemoglobin which is dissolved in the plasma. So this is a special character. Why this is a special character? Because in some animal blood is not red color and due to the absence of hemoglobin. Due to the absence of hemoglobin, but some possess hemocyanin, and due to the hemocyanin, blood color is not red. But here, the blood color is red due to the presence of hemoglobin. Okay, in the dissolve in the plasma. Then excretion by nephridia. Excretion by nephridia. Nephridia. So there are different nephridia which are present in the body, and this nephridia we call as pharyngeal nephridia, then thoracic nephridia. So these nephridia, they are the excretory organ in case of the earthworm or in the phylum Annelida, and locomotion by CT. Locomotion by CT. Then parapodia or sucker means there is a parapodia or sucker they are present. CT means these are the small locomotory organ which are present on the ventral surface on the body of this animal, and with help of that they are locomote or they are move from one place to the another place. Okay, now the sexes are separate or united. So some animal belonging to the phylum Annelida, sexes are separate, some are the united. That means both sex present in the single animal. So this phylum Annelida is divided into following four classes. One class it is called as a Polychaeta, then Oligochaeta, then Hirudinea, and uh, Arachnida, not Arachnida, Arachnida. So Arachnida, Polychaeta, Oligochaeta, Hirudinea, these are the several classes which are belonging to this phylum Annelida. Actually, some example, Polychaeta, one example we will discuss here, that is the leech. Neris and Hirudinea example, they are available in our laboratory, that is called as a leech, and Oligochaeta example available for an earthworm in our laboratory. So only three example we will discuss here. One is the Neris and second is the leech and next is earthworm under this phylum, that is the phylum Annelida. Okay, now I just show the example here. So first example, that is the Nereis. So this is Nereis. Nereis. When you look this phylum Annelida class, Polychaeta, scientific name Nereis, and common name that is a clamworm. Clamworm. So when you look the characteristic of Nereis, the clamworm can be found from Alaska to San Diego, as well as Pacific coast of Russia in the mid to the low internal zone. Means this animal is not found in India. They can be found among the mussels and uh, on the what I just sandy mud and algal holdfast, etc. So this is the what we call as a location of this animal. The clam worm is a segmented annelida worm. Its segments are wider than they are long. Means each segment is wider. Okay. The prostium has two antennae and and a pair of palm differentiated into two units. So when you look the here, this animal, this is a head, and here this is the antenna, then peristomium, prostomium. Then these are the two eyes here, parapodia. These are the segment. These are the different segment here, and these are the CT. CT are the locomotory organ of this animal, and this is the anal cirri through which the release nitrogenous waste material outside. This is the anal cirri. Okay, the pharynx is delicated into the delineated into the two part with the pair of jaws and conical teeth. Stout jaws and conical teeth. There are usually two pair of eyes present in the that is a clapworm. Coloration is a to green, greenish to greenish, brown with a slight whole tone. It can grow fairly large size up to 30 centimeter long and 1.2 centimeter wide. They are usually eat algae and have large jaws with their uh, uh, that is evasively pharynx used their food from hard subsurface. Reproduction is done through release of two body pair called as epitope that make their way to the surface, mating, swarm, and after swarming, 24 male and female epitopes dies. Swarm means this is a bunch which are they are released. Means these are the eggs-like structure or eggs, and they are released from nares, and from that, after hatching, there are 24 male and female epitopes are out of that 24 and male and female epitopes they are dies. So this is a general characteristic of nares, but this nares, but it is segmented and here this is a head and antenna, peristomium, prostomium, eyes, parapodia, and this CT. Now, parapodia is not a locomotory organ, but CT are the locomotory organ of this animal. This is Ancera. They are found in the that is the Pacific coast of Russia. This animal found in the Pacific coast of Russia feed algae and the reproduction is done through release of body part called as epitope. Same condition here. That is when you look the tapeworm, when tapeworm they are fall what we call as mature proglottid, and mature proglottid burst and further produce new tapeworm. New tapeworm born from mature proglottid. Similarly here, epitope they release. Uh, epitopes they are released from this body, and these epitopes further produces male and female nares. This is one example. Now, second example here, this is a famous example we call as a peritimana, peritima postuma, peri, peri, peritimana postuma. That is a earthworm, common name that is called as earthworm. And this is a friend of farmer, and this earthworm body is segmented. In addition to that, this is a prostomium. When you look the prostomium broadly, there is opening of mouth and peristomium, and these are the ring of city. And here, clitellum. So this is one segment is broad. All segments are similar, but one near about 13, 14, 15. These three segments are very broad. Therefore, it is called as clitellum. Then metamere means these segments are equal, and lastly there is anal opening. So ventral view you show here, there is a transverse groove and male genital aperture here, female genital aperture here. This is a female genital aperture, this is male genital aperture, and this is a clitellum. This clitellum shows the female genital aperture, and below the clitellum, 1, 2, 3 segments show the male genital aperture, and these are the CT. CT are the locomotory organ of this earthworm. Now, this earthworm, when you look, it is found in moist soil, then body is a long cylindrical, brown in color, anterior end is pointed, while posterior end is more or less blunt. Posterior end is more blunt and anterior end is pointed. Then each segment of body except the first and last segment provided with CT. Means there is no CT which are present in the first segment, no CT present at the last segment, but the remaining segments show the CT, and CT are the locomotory organ of this animal. Then that is the mouth. Mouth is situated anterior ventrally. Clitellum is present 13, 14, 16. Sorry, 14, 15, 16 segment. They are made up of clitellum. This is broad segment. Female genital pore is present mid-ventrally in the 14 segment, and a pair of male genital pore lies ventrally in the 18 segment. So this is difference in the female genital opening and male genital opening. Female genital opening they are present in the 14 segment, and male genital opening they are present in the 18 segment. Two pair of genital papillae lies ventrolaterally on 17 and 19 segment, and the anus is present in the last segment, and reproduction is a sexual. Sexual reproduction, anus is present in the last segment, and two pair of genital papillae lies ventrolaterally on the 17 and 19 segment. Now we move to the another animal which are included in the next class, Hirudina. So this is Oligochaeta. First we discuss the Nereis. It include the that is a class. Uh, just I mentioned the class here, Nereis class, that is the Polychaeta. So class Polychaeta one example, second this is Oligochaeta one example, and next Hirudina. So this is a leech. Leech here. This is a head. Here this is a head, and this is the salivary cell, and here this is a sucker. So when you look broad view of head, then here these are the jaws. Jaws. These are the jaws. The one, two, three. These are the jaws here, and head. This is a head sucker. It is called as a head sucker. Then this is a pharynx, then salivary cell, salivary duct, and a ring of teeth. Ring of teeth. So with the help of the sucker, this animal attach with the body of other animal and sucking blood. Sucking blood, and after fulfill entire body, this animal separated from body of another animal. So it is called as a parasite, not endoparasite. This leech is a exoparasite. So remaining part it is called as a crop. When crop they are fulfilled by blood or through blood, intestine or crop they are fulfilled by blood, then and then this animal they are released from body of other animals. So this is a exoparasite, not endoparasite. This is intestine, rectum, posterior sucker, and anus. So movement of this animal is very interesting. First, they are attached with the anterior sucker, and with the help of the posterior sucker. When first attached with anterior sucker, then the anterior sucker they are busy for sucking blood. Then it become attached with the posterior sucker. So likewise, this animal they are suck the blood from other animal. So when you look the characteristic of this animal, then I mention here this kingdom Animalia, phylum Annelida, class Hirudinea. Then it is commonly called as the Indian cattle leech. Generally, this animal they are bite to the cattle, attached with cattle, and from cattle. Therefore, it is called as a Indian cattle leech, found in the pond, marshes, stream. It is endoparasite. Number of body segment 33. Each segment shows superficial division called as the annuli. The presence of sucker for locomotion and attachment. I just mentioned here the sucker are useful for locomotion, sucker are useful for sucking blood, attachment, etc. The intestine, sorry, indistinct head. Head is indistinct with five pair of eyes situated dorsally in the last five segment. Animal are animal are bisexual. The male genital pore is situated mid-ventrally in between the 10th segment. The female genital pore lies mid-ventrally on the 11th segments, and the anus lies mid-dorsally on the 26th segment. Only well-developed posterior sucker present, the anterior sucker being reduced. So anterior sucker is reduced, and because the anterior sucker they are useful for sucking blood, they are also useful for biting the skin of other animal, and with help of that so this is one of the endoparasites. So likewise today I cover here the one phylum, sorry, different phylum, that is the phylum Annelida, phylum Platyhelminthes. So the two important phylum I cover here, and I show the example.